I got a couple sports, you could call them analogies, some cliches in there. I got a Coach Shula story. Ready? Here we go. Starts back in 1964. My first conscionable moment, I realized I was born into a family of 4 older sisters. I could not find a male influence in my younger upbringing. My dad sought shelter. Went down to the basement immediately from work, refinished furniture. I don't really know what he did. And my mom was domineering. She was, like we called her, the abominable, crazy lady from Orchard Lane. That's where we lived, and she was crazy. So I grew up in a family of 4 older sisters. Think of it, back in the 60s and the 70s, the hand-me-downs, very moderate income family. I was wearing their hand-me-downs. I am not your typical NFL inside linebacker. Yeah. I would go upstairs to my bedroom like my dad did downstairs, and I would rock myself to sleep. If anybody knows what that is, just think of a cradle. But me, I was doing it on my own. Just back and forth, trying to find sleep and solace because I had 4 older sisters. And there next to my bed, on a stark wall, I think my dad put up the only piece of furniture. In this situation, it was a picture that influenced my life so much. And here it is. See if this works. How do I do this? Oh, there it is, right there. Thank you. That thing, that picture was sitting next to my bed, and I would see that incessantly through the whole childhood, teenage years of my life. And it says, in the game of life, as in football, the principles to follow is this. Hit the line hard, don't foul, don't shirk, hit the line hard. All right? Laying down, I would dream someday of doing that, playing football. 1986, I'm laying on the ground of the Orange Bowl Stadium, in the corner of the end zone, stretching out, Monday night football game, thinking to myself, what? Oh my God, I'm in the NFL. You just hear it, right? Dun, 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 dun. You got, the Orange Bowl lights, your clothes, sweats all over your face. You're thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm in the NFL. And lo and behold, like my biggest nightmare, Coach Shula's head eclipses the light. I open my eyes, and there he is, just staring down at me, frothing at the mouth. This is the greatest coach ever. And I was getting ready to play the NFL Monday Night Football game as an inside linebacker, starting defensive signal caller for the Miami Dolphins. And so he leans over me, and he says, Offerdahl, you nervous? That was a great moment in my life. I do what most of you would probably not do. I gave him a non-answer. I said, Coach, not really. And that was not I don't think there was a right answer. But he looked over me and he says, you gall darn better be. And he put a couple extra words in there. And he walked away, and it was so loud that the corner of the end zone, the fans, they all hushed up. And I was sitting there right before my first NFL Monday Night Football game. Yes, twice in my rookie year, I crapped my pants. That was one of them. All right. The other one, a good story too. It's another Shula story. And I literally was left like that. So, what does this all have to do with anything? In the game, I didn't hit that. Who hit that? Put that back. No, I'll tell you when to hit that. In the game of life, as in football, right? You better get it right. You better focus on your priorities. You better have a purpose. And I can't tell you, as a football player, how many NFL professionals had their priorities screwed up and cared more about the card game on the flight going to a football game than they did about their performance on the field. Amazing, isn't it? No, don't make fun of my Miami Dolphins this year, but you know that there are some people who are laying a crapper on the football field. So I say this all because, number one, prioritize your purpose. It's really simple. Coach Shula said if you can figure it out in one hand, you probably can do it in life. Think about it. My faith in God and my relationship with Him, my family, you can look at it as my direct family and also the family that I have the ability to kind of coach, and you got the fans. Those are other people in life. In the restaurant business, those are your customers and your community. And lastly, I leave my pinky open for my last F. But I think basically I can handle 5 things in life. But I better prioritize them. And in the food business, I'm talking about you. What's the one thing? If you remember City Slickers, Jack Palance and Billy Crystal, it was great. I didn't really understand the whole movie, but one part I did, and they were climbing up a mountain, and Jack Palance says, the secret of life, it's this. And Billy says, what, your finger? And no, he says, no, it's one thing. And that's for you to figure out. And so I got food in there, just like 20 years ago I had football. All right? But once you figure it out, you got to put it in action. And this is my football acronym. It's kind of weak, but I get pepped up about it. So pep. All right? You got to do it with some pep. So in there it says hit the line hard. That's passion. A lot of people can do that. They really can. But it hurts. Trust me, it hurts. And so the first thing people do is they foul, they shirk contact, they cheat, they don't do their taxes quite right, they find ways to cut corners, and very few of them hit the line hard again. So passion, ready for the weakness? Pep. Exactness. It's kind of weak. But I don't think so, because there's things and ways to do things. There's SOPs. There's engineering of people's times and purposes. Doing it right is the long road. And most importantly, hitting the line hard again. In the food business, as we all know, it's not easy. Oftentimes you fall and you fail. Great thing about food is unlike a football game where they have a week to talk about it before you play the game again, in food, next day, next customer's up, you're ready to play. So, pep. In our business, I love food. I'm passionate about food. Our mission statement, Offerdahl's Cafe Grill will quickly satisfy your fresh baked, just grilled, all day appetite, and in an atmosphere that makes you feel great. So we're in the business of making people feel great. From our own employees, our team, from management to players, to the fans out there, our customer base and our community. And one of the things I just wanted to share with you is not only do we create a sense of pride within our own management team and players, not only at the restaurant level, but they participate in community activities which I think impact their local community and South Florida in general. 2 things that we're doing, and our employees came to us, our players came to us, and were willing to chip in their tips, a portion, small portion, of their tips to a tip pool for Offerdahl's Handoff Foundation, which feeds the needs of kids in crisis. We felt purpose, my wife and I did, to give back to the community, and our employees came to us and said, we want to chip in and be part of it. So we match our tips from a company standpoint, and up to this year, the 5th year, we've raised $40,000, over $40,000 for family foster care and homelessness. Not only does the foundation collect the money, what do we do with it? We started a food and wine festival. Kind of cool, right? So in South Florida, the Gridiron Grill-Off Food and Wine Festival is the second Saturday of every November, November 14th this year. The Pompano Beach Amphitheater brings 25 Miami Dolphin legends, pairs them up with 25 of South Florida's top chefs, and you, the fans, can eat and drink, and you get to vote on your favorite recipe, seek autographs, play cornhole. It's a hoot. It's really one of the best signature South Florida events that I've been to, but all of their time, all of those athletes and chefs, all of the volunteers, all of that. Last year, we raised $50,000. This year, we're going to raise over $100,000, feeds the needs of kids in crisis through foster care and family homelessness. So when you get your team to engage beyond just their own self and into others in the community, you have something special. And we wanted to kind of focus on that because our priorities for our purpose have people before our food. We believe we're called to serve food, but we're first called to serve people. So lastly, in 1985, I was asked to play in a Senior Bowl game. That's when they take the best players from all of college and put them on the field for NFL to evaluate and discern who's going to be the first-round draft pick. In 1985, the Heisman Trophy winner was a guy named Bo Jackson. And as you know, Bo knows. But he didn't know Johnny O. So, where's that next one? There it is, right there. So that picture hangs in all of our restaurants. I was asked in that game to play inside linebacker, and you have to understand, I wasn't that good in college, but I moved my way up, snuck onto this team, and for whatever reason was asked to be the inside linebacker who would stop Bo Jackson on 4th down. Everybody in the stadium, all the coaches knew Bo Jackson was going to jump right over the right guard anytime he needed 1 yard. And so they designated Johnny Offerdahl from little Western Michigan. That's what the W stands for, Western Michigan. Who's been to Western Michigan? Oh, I'm amazed. All right, most people don't raise their hand, either because they're embarrassed or they've never been there. But no, I should not say that. But no lie, they had Johnny Offerdahl coached, prepped, ready to jump before Bo Jackson ever got off the ground. In that game, we won. And I had 2 4th down and 1 plays. And if you look at the bottom, that's the goal. The goal line. His job, his goal was to cross the goal line. Mine was to stop him. So there's a verse in the Bible that talks about getting the prize. Let me share that with you. You know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize. Run in such a way as to get the prize. My challenge to you, figure out your purposes, put a little pep, and identify the prize. And get it. Get it. So that hangs in all my stores. I have the rare opportunity to have a moment in life taken with a photographer at just the right moment. And then to be able to display that and talk to you about purpose, pep, and prize. Thanks. Hey, wait. Before I end, like all good huddles, we'll break. So on the count of 3, I'll say, hit the line, and you'll say, hard. This is great. Put your arms in. 1, 2, 3. Hit the line. Hard! Thank you.